Guys, I think DJI just did it again. They just blew open the whole world of FPV flying for everybody. That's right, guys. DJI has done it again. They have opened the world of FPV flying for everybody. Up until this point, I've always felt like that FPV flying has been very niche centered. It's been for a specific few people who have been brave enough to adventure into that world of learning how to build an FPV drone, how to work through the batteries. The batteries alone stress me out so much. There's often this charging station in the office here, and you gotta do all this math to get the batteries charged right, and it looks like it's about to blow at any point. So just the battery charging alone and the challenge of getting drones and building them, that alone deters so many people from flying with FPV drones. On top of just charging the batteries and getting your drone, as well, flying is not easy. You gotta do a lot of simulating hours to figure out how to fly the drone, and as well just simple things like if you're in a bind and you wanna float, you can't just put the drone to fly. You gotta be controlling it all the time, so usually when people panic, they crash the drone. And DJI has changed that whole world. They have created a whole new opportunity for people to get into the FPV world by making it a lot more user-friendly and accessible. So first off, you no longer need to build an FPV drone. You can just buy this drone. This drone, the goggles, and the controller only cost $1,299 US. That's insane. That's so cheap. When we were filming with Christoph, he was guessing that's probably gonna be anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. And when we told the price, he was shocked. So not only is the price very affordable and no longer do you need to work through building a drone, but as well the battery life. When my brother Matty is flying with the FPV drone, he's got a whole bag of little batteries that last maybe 3 to 5 minutes per flight. And this drone battery was lasting forever. I don't know the exact times, but let's just say now it's more realistic when you're flying with an FPV drone. Another great feature that they've actually added to this FPV drone is, like I said before, if you're ever panicking or in a bind, you can just simply press this button on the controller that goes into float mode. And then this DJI FPV drone just starts floating in the air like the DJI drones that we're used to. So all these features just make flying an FPV drone so much more possible now compared to where before it was very just niche centered for specific people who just really dove into that world. But then for the rest of us, it just felt way too intimidating. So I'm really excited about first learning how to fly this drone and taking it out, but I'm also excited for all the shots that I'm able to get with this kind of drone. This drone right here has a built-in camera that films 4K 60 frames per second, and the footage actually looked pretty good. I mean, there was times that the propellers were showing in some of the shots, so you would have to scale in a little bit, losing quality, but I'm sure in the future models of the DJI FPV drones, the quality is gonna get just better and better, like what we've experienced with DJI's drones thus far. So when it comes to FPV flying, I think the future is bright. I think no longer is FPV flying for just few hobbyists. I think it's gonna become kind of one of those tools that everyone has in their camera bags like drones are, but now we can just open our world of filmmaking to a whole new world of epic cinematic shots where you can just be cruising down a mountain or just flying through different objects or just chasing someone or an object like a car. All these shots are gonna be available now because people have access to FPV drones. And that I'm very excited about. I think it's gonna just up the game when it comes to drone flying and drone cinematography in people's films. So, DJI, thank you so much for innovating the game and for releasing this FPV drone. I am very excited, and I think it's time for me to finally do some simulation. I'm gonna do a few hours of practice, and then maybe, if my brother lets me, I'll take out this drone for some flights.